What up, what up? My name is Ronnie Ferreira, and I am the captain of Comment Me Bro, the first ever champions of MSS Reindeer Games. You're watching Let Freedom Ring with Dan Bollier, the #1 podcast in Southern New Hampshire. Enjoy.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Starting off the show, as you probably heard, the news, Bill Belichick essentially was let go by the New England Patriots. We just want to say thank you, Bill, for the last 24 years. You are the greatest coach in the history of the NFL. And you made my late teens, 20s, and 30s an amazing time to watch the New England Patriots. So we thank you. But my guests this week, I have Amy Ban and Ryan McMahon. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, pleasure to have you guys on. Let's get to know you a little bit. We'll start with Amy. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
So I am from a very small town on the South Shore of Massachusetts known as Carver. You may know this from King Richard's Fair or Edaville, but way down the South Shore, a little bit before Cape Cod.
Oh, okay.
So I grew up there, was there for all of my almost childhood years, and then I went to school in Salem, Massachusetts. Yeah.
Nice. Do you do the are you big into Halloween and do you, obviously that's the place, right?
Yeah. Salem was absolutely amazing. Loved it. Going to college there, it was definitely a big thing. The Halloweens were crazy. The town was shut down, so. I love Halloween. Still love it. Still would love to go back to.
That's something I have to do. I gotta go to Salem for Halloween. And I'm a huge Halloween person. If you can't tell by the table and other things I post on social media, but
I'm surprised you haven't.
You'd think, right?
Yeah.
I went on a field trip in high school. We looked at the Salem witch trials and stuff. I don't know.
It gets wild down there during Halloween.
Crazy.
It's fun though. It's nice.
I have an allergy to Massachusetts, so it's hard,
That's
obviously,
understandable.
But Ryan, where are you from?
I'm also from a small town. I grew up in Southampton, New Hampshire. It's right on the border, Amesbury, Mass.
Okay.
Lived there till about 7th grade, then moved to Chester, New Hampshire. Lived there till I was 19, then lived in Lynn till just over a year ago. I moved to Hooksett. I've been here since.
Nice. Lynn is, all I can really say about Lynn is I drive through there when you try to get to Nahant. And you're going through Lynn, you're like, whoa, okay, I just want to get to the beaches. Beaches.
Yeah, it's a nightmare to get in and out of. The traffic's awful, but I lived there for 8 years, and I'll say, a lot of the bad stigmas it has just aren't true. I feel anywhere you live, there's good areas and bad areas. Especially in Mass, it's crazy. There's some cities where you'll have really, really bad areas, and then parts of those same cities will almost seem like New Hampshire. Big houses, rural areas, you know what I'm saying? So it's really anywhere you go, but my experience in Lynn was honestly nothing but good things.
No, it's nice. And it's tough. I think a lot of cities, Lowell included, sometimes they get these bad reputations that's not... I mean, Nashua, that's where I grew up. And that same thing. I'm whoa, we won #1 city twice. But there are issues.
Right, yeah. Every city's imperfect, so...
I want to ask you guys this. What are you best known for? Amy, you want to start?
I'd love to. I'm going to say it depends on who you ask. But I would say I feel I'm best known for being really positive, really bubbly, very energetic. Golden Retriever energy.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about, because that's a nickname that you have. How did you get that nickname?
Honestly, I think just kind of being that loud, outgoing person at softball. Very open to meeting new people, kind of making new connections. I pop around like a golden retriever. I'm very loving. I care a lot about people. big people person. I studied psychology for my undergrad, so yeah, it's a big passion. I like people.
Nice. No, you're definitely a very positive person at the field. You know, even when it's tough times, to be positive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
What about you, Ryan?
Well, for anyone watching this, definitely softball. But I don't know. I wouldn't say like any one specific thing. I feel like I'm just pretty agreeable, get along with everyone in general. I don't know. I don't really do much other than play softball. Like most days I just work, go home. Like I go to bed early. Like I'm like a 30-year-old, 60-year-old.
Well, I got to ask this then, Ryan, because I think we've talked about it a little bit, and we kind of promoted the show on this. It's winter.
Yeah.
You don't have softball every night. How are you guys getting through all that?
It's tough, honestly. Like winter just in general is like a tough time. Like it used to really affect me a lot more than it does now. And I feel like just because over time I've just overall like really worked on my mental health as I got older. But like that's something I really take seriously. But yeah, no, winter's tough. Like most of us, like I'm sure it's same for you guys, like when we wake up it's dark out, we go to work all day. When we leave it's dark when we get home. Like you feel like you have no time really, and you can't go out and do things. Like you're limited on options and what you can do. And especially for someone like me, like I feel like I really benefit from exercise and like going out every day. Like that's why I feel like softball is so good for me and like a lot of people, just because what it does for you physically, not even just enjoying the game and stuff. So it is tough in the winter, but I try to just find different things to do. This is the time of year I'll try to spend more time with like my close friends who like maybe I haven't seen in a while, or I don't know, just different things like that. Try to make the best of it. So
Yeah. How about you, Amy?
So I signed up for soccer.
Oh, that's right.
So I herniated a disc last year. So movement, exercise, super important for me right now, just for kind of like the healing process. So yeah, I signed up for soccer. I've been playing kind of like pickup softball here and there, going to the gym a lot, trying to work on strengthening my lower back again. But yeah, I would say it's definitely weird when it's the off season and you're kind of trying to find things to do. So soccer has been a great outlet. I've really enjoyed it. It's definitely very different from softball, but a good challenge. So,
Yeah, definitely a lot more running.
yes, yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
realize how out
for
of shape
sure.
I was.
Now, sticking with the theme of the show, which is Let Freedom Ring, we ask every guest this, and everybody has a different take on it, really.
Yeah.
But what does it mean to you to be an American? Who wants to go first? I know this is the toughest one.
I thought about this a lot, so I don't mind. I'll go first.
Go for it.
But so I thought about this a lot. Back in 2016, I went to China, and so I feel like for me, like that was a life-changing trip. I backpacked around China for almost 2 weeks with my brother. He lived there. He goes to school there, or he went to school there, and he was fluent in Mandarin. So we traveled a lot, just got to really embrace a different culture, which was amazing. And I feel like it put a lot into perspective about kind of like the opportunities we have here. So yeah, I feel like what it means to be an American is just like the land of opportunity, as they say, but the land of freedom too. You just have a lot more flexibility to kind of like do what you want, to work hard, chase your dreams. Whereas I feel like in other places it's just very different, maybe a little bit more restrained in some areas. But yeah, so I'm very grateful, I guess I will say.
Yeah, no. Well, in China too, you know, my old wrestling friend of mine, Vinny, did the show a couple years back. We did a live stream, and he lives in Hong Kong. He's a chef there. He's a big time chef there.
Yeah.
And even before we filmed the episode, he was like, "I gotta be careful what I say here."
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a big thing. Like, you know, as long as I'm not threatening people on the show, I can kind of say whatever is in my mind. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think that's like a huge thing, and China's a good example to compare.
Yeah, I'm like, it's an extreme one, but yeah, it was great though.
What about you, Ryan?
For me, I'm pretty much same boat. Like I'm definitely proud to be an American. There's definitely imperfections in this country for sure, but I feel like overall there's a lot of opportunity here, and there's a lot of freedoms that, like you said, you just won't get in other places. I feel like sometimes too, like people can be just look at things like a little bit in too much of a negative light and kind of forget that sometimes like the grass isn't always greener. Like you said, that there's not many other places that are even comparable that you'd want to live in compared to America. Like I said, I admit we have imperfections, but I think if we just start working more as a team on things, stop being so divided, like we could probably get to where we want to be.
No, I agree, and some of our freedoms is why we are so divided. Like,
Yeah,
you
and
know.
no, and that's fair. Like that's usually how you end up getting good results, is having like two different opposing opinions, and like you compromise somewhere in the middle. It's just, I feel like it's just gotten a little too far, like to the extremes, where I feel like people used to be a little bit more willing to compromise on certain things. So.
Do you think that social media plays an impact? Now, you know, not just, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, all this stuff, people post them, but you also now, and I love doing the shorts for the show. There's a lot of political shorts where people are getting clips that are like 30, 40 seconds long. A lot of them can be divisive, not always factual.
Mm.
Do you think that social media is driving that overall divide?
It's definitely part of it. I think it's gotten better over time on social media. I feel like a lot of people have really backed off of that a little bit, just because it did get out of hand for a while. But yeah, no, that's definitely 100% part of it, because there's no repercussions for what you say on the internet. And a lot of times too, people will just see things on the internet and like kind of take it for what it is, and like sometimes like just run with it and not really like look into things for themselves and form their own opinions. They'll just hear what one person said and like take it as truth, or like use that in arguments for things.
Well, yeah, if it backs up an opinion that you already have, it just, you know,
exactly. People do a lot of that too.
What do you think about that, Amy?
Yeah, I mean, talk about land of opportunity. I think of like comedians. Andrew Schultz is a big one. He would put out like 1-minute clips of bits and just kind of keep firing them out to get more popularity. Same with Russ, a singer. He would put out like 1-minute clips just to get on the map. And I mean, other countries don't even have access to like TikTok, where you do the short reels and whatnot. So yeah, I think social media definitely plays a role in different ways. But.
Well, and I can say this too, though, like even in, like I know 2016 was probably the most divisive election that I had lived through.
Yeah, for sure.
I had a lot of friends in softball that would post a lot of stuff I didn't agree with. And, you know, people get into it on social media, but when we sat down and had real conversations,
it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that. It's like the virtual world. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'm not politics really. I mean, at times I've done that with politics. I like to troll about things.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of things I'll say on social media is a character-based where I'm kidding.
Right.
And it depends on how people read it.
Yeah, or just trolling sometimes. Like, which that's, like, different, though. I feel like what you do is you're more, I feel like you just kind of mess with people sometimes, and whether or not they pick up on it is.
Yeah, and to be honest, when Trump was president, I did that with a lot of people. And sometimes they catch on. But at the end of the day, like a lot of them are still friends of mine, and I'm fine to have different opinions with anybody.
Yeah, you are right, though. Like, especially back then, like a lot of things on the internet, like it got crazy, and it's, like you said, people don't talk to each other like that normally in person. No. I feel like people realize that over time. That's why it's definitely gotten a little bit better.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And
like you don't see the big paragraphs and political arguments, like 100 comments. You know, I feel like it's definitely a little better.
Yeah, and I don't know about you guys. When that was going on, someone would write you know, if it wasn't a quick reply, I'm not reading a paragraph on Facebook.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And but anyways, I have some questions about softball that I'm really curious about with you two. We do have the Reindeer Games trophy here that we won pretty much the last outdoor tournament of the year. Ronnie Ferreira, it's not a podcast. It's a public access show / YouTube. I know he was in the introduction of the show, which was a fun time. I'm excited to get back out there. It's only January, we got some time. But I want to know this, because I'm always curious about people's origin stories on how they got into softball. How did you start playing softball?
I've been playing since I was little, so I started out with t-ball, and then just kind of evolved into softball from there. I have 3 older brothers. They all, or 2 out of the 3, play softball, and so I feel like it was just a natural path for me. I played all throughout middle school, going into high school, became captain of my team my senior year, so yeah, it's deep history.
Now, I guess the real, how did you start playing adult slow pitch softball? Because that's the real, like, I feel like a lot of us have backgrounds, right?
Yeah.
Like, I came from baseball, but I always find that story of, like, how you played something I never thought as a kid I would ever do. And now I do it 5 nights a week. Like, how did you get into to that world?
So I moved up to New Hampshire, didn't know a lot of people out here, so being the golden retriever that I am, I wanted to sign up for something fun, something recreational, and so I had heard about My Social Sports from a coworker, and so I just signed up for a random team as a free agent.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I still play with some of those people too. I think that was back in 2020 when I originally joined, but yeah, so I'm loving it.
Yeah, no. How about you, Ryan?
Well, I joined adult slow pitch the same way she did, so, but I obviously grew up playing baseball my whole life, and then moved away for a while. And I would talk to my brother who played slow pitch. He's been playing since he was in the Army, and I always wanted to do it so bad, but I just never went out and joined a league when I lived down in Lynn. So finally, when I moved up here, he mentioned My Social, and that was the first thing I did was sign up when I got down here. Just on a random free agent team that I still play with today. So, but yeah, that's how I got in, and then I just did really well in some of the leagues and kind of worked my way up from there. But yeah, My Social is where I started. There's things I don't like about My Social, but I'm really appreciative, honestly, and all the things they do. It's a lot better than a lot of other things out there, so not in a lot of other leagues. So,
no, I agree, and I think they don't get the credit because I started at Plymouth State. I started playing intramurals, which again, it was weird because when I was in high school, if you had told me I wouldn't played softball, I wouldn't have believed you. By the time I was 20 years old, I was like, yeah, I want to play. I'm going to do that. It looks awesome. But when I graduated, the first league it was, and I'm dating myself here, it was New Hampshire Sports and Social Club.
yeah,
And that was the first thing I ever found. And I think someone from college might have got me on a team first or whatever it was. But I feel like they don't get a lot of credit for a lot of the softball players in the community that have, gone further with it. It's it's always well, that's just rec, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, yeah, but that's where a lot of people, that's the first thing they found. And it led to all these other things. And I think My Social Sports has its demographic and its place compared to all the other leagues,
Yeah, and I think there's a benefit, too, to how they run things, as a business more so. And I think, there's downsides to that, but there's also a lot of, good things about it, because they hold, their leagues and tournaments to certain standards that you may not get from private tournaments or individually run tournaments, because if you're running a tournament a one-off thing, you're not going to face fallback really, especially if you don't plan on doing it again, where My Social kind of has to maintain a good reputation to everybody, so they usually have pretty good standards. But not even just that, I just feel a lot of people give My Social a hard time, or say squish ball isn't serious or not that good at not that competitive, but I think you just have to look at it as a different type of game.
Yeah.
And I actually I've seen a lot of players who I know are really good players not look great playing squish ball, because it's just different. It's a lot more small ball, base running, playing defense, low scoring, staying within the park, base hits, that type of stuff. I feel you can still improve your game, too, in My Social, too.
Well, and when people start doing those things, I go, softball's a hobby. How you want to do your hobby is up to you, whether that's squish ball, U-trip, AS. It doesn't matter. It's a recreational activity. I don't care if you're at Worlds or whatever it is.
Right.
It's a hobby. So however you want to spend your hobby is up to you, What do you guys enjoy most about playing?
Ooh, I enjoy the challenge, I think. The challenge and the people, obviously. Love the people that we play with. But I love playing. I don't know. I love winning. I'm very competitive, but that's kind of like more low-key. But yeah, I love the people that we play with, though. I'm super grateful for. I feel like I built like a really healthy community of just amazing people. So that's kind of what I enjoy most about playing at this age in my life. Way back when, it might have meant something different, but
Absolutely.
But yeah.
How about you, Ryan?
For me, I just love the game all around. Like my entire life, I've just always been like obsessed with the game. Like I'll sit and like even growing up when I was a kid, like I'd watch random other little league teams play games, and so like people will even see me now. Like if my team gets knocked out of a tournament, like I'll stay to the end and watch all the games. Like I just love being at the field. Like I love being with my friends. Like you said, in the competitiveness too. Like I'm super competitive, and it's just a good way to like push myself. And I don't know. Like I said, I feel like it benefits me all around. Like I'm physically benefiting from it, making friends from it. So like it's a good social thing for me.
It's like therapy.
Yeah, we get that. A lot of people say that.
Yeah.
And I got to say, like, maybe not indoor, right? But I agree, like, I will, if my team's in a tournament and we get knocked out, I usually say, oh, I'll get out of here. And I never do.
Yeah.
I just hang out, and especially when it's, who wants to be inside during the spring, summer, and fall?
Yeah,
Nobody.
Exactly.
Everybody.
So, no, I definitely get that. And I definitely sometimes I'm like, Dan, why are you still here? But it's like it's where I want to be.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite moment that you've had in slow pitch or like in recreation?
I'll let you take this one first.
For me,
I know I have a trophy right here, Amy. I guess
I
that
was
we
gonna-
won together, but that's fine. That's okay.
that was a great tournament. I had a ton of fun with that.
Yeah, same.
But obviously, Worlds was like an incredible experience. I'm super appreciative, like the whole opportunity I got that Ramel gave me to play with Friendly Fire, and like all those guys are like I consider really good friends of mine. But that trip was just incredible. Like our team house was awesome. Like I just had such a good time down there, seeing all the teams. Like it was everything I wanted it to be, and then some.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's
awesome.
hands down my highlight.
Mine's a lower scale, but still good. But I would say my first championship, honestly, with MSS.
Okay.
It was a couple years ago, but it was just, we fought for that win. I remember we played a team called Shake and Bake. They had a whole banner and everything. Shout out to them, great competition. But yeah, we fought for that win, and it was really rewarding, and I really enjoyed it. That was obviously a great accomplishment too, the trophy, but yeah, that was great. Also, just because it was a hodgepodge group of people who just fought all day long. So, yeah.
I was wanting a Christmas tournament for so long.
I know, seriously.
And like this trophy, Justin, I give Steve a lot of credit because this is pretty cool. Like
It's a nice trophy, yeah. We did earn that one too. Like we were down in like I want to say like 3 of the games we played that day, and had to fight back for.
I think we
wins.
lost the first one.
Yeah, lost.
I struck
the first
out. I
one.
hadn't struck out in 10 years.
And
like
even the semifinals, we were down like 3-0 until like the 6th inning, and came back and won that. So that was definitely well deserved.
Yeah, that was cool. I hope they keep doing that. Hopefully the
I
weather
enjoyed
agrees long enough. But like, there was some though playing in December, and it was just warm
Yeah.
enough. That was just
We
really
got
cool.
lucky.
It was a perfect day. Yeah.
It's great.
Anything we can expect from you guys, or going into 2024, or teams that you play on?
I feel like I have to give a couple shout outs. I've been asked to give shout outs. Shout out to the Poppy. Shout out to Laser Show. Shout out to Come At Me Bro.
Hollywood The Point.
Yeah, Hollywood The Point. Shout out. But yeah, I think just more fun, more energy. Shout out to the Great Balls of Fire too. But yeah, all the teams I play on. I'm excited. I think I'm ready to bring the competition in 2024.
And Ryan, we're registered, right? So
Yeah, we're
you
registered.
can say on the show.
Yeah, I'll
There's a
be
new
playing
tournament
with
team.
Morningwood with Dan next season and Ease. I'm super pumped about it. Like, this is a team we just know has good chemistry. I feel like a ton of talent. So I'm super excited to see where we go with this team.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I've been on a lot of teams and had a lot of fun with people. I think that's a crew of people that I'll win or lose, I'm gonna have a good time with.
Yeah, it's almost instantly too. Like our fall Andover team, like we just clicked right away, and we just dominated down there. Like the game, like because when it's like that, when you have such good team chemistry, the game comes easier to you. I feel like, and I feel like you elevate everyone on the team too, because there's a lot of pressure off. Because sometimes that can be the downside to competitive. Sometimes when you're on like super competitive teams, there's a lot of pressure where you don't want to make mistakes, and I feel like that can almost just hurt the team as a whole sometimes.
Yeah, you don't want to play nervous. Sometimes you can't help it. But
Yeah,
honestly,
no, trust me.
I play my best when I don't care.
Right.
To be honest, so I try to get in that mindset of like, all right. Sometimes
Just
you gotta
enjoy
just go
it.
like, I don't care if I win or lose, and then you usually win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to get to the fan questions and comments. First one from Jared Acker, who will be in the studio in 2 weeks. Ryan is a hunk. So
Thank you, Jared.
He's a big fan.
I'm definitely not as handsome as Jared is.
Ronnie Ferreira, in his disguise Facebook profile, is George Jetson, which he changed his profile picture to an actual
I
picture
saw
of him in
that.
it. So is this going to be the big reveal? I don't know.
Ooh.
What is it like to continuously define your legacy?
I feel like you both have defined more legacies than me, so.
No, this is you take the way here.
Oh boy, I mean, it's great to win. It's great to, I feel like, leave a legacy of positivity behind. If I can spread that to other people and brighten somebody's day, awesome. Like I said, I love the people we play with, so I feel like also defining that legacy is strengthening those relationships. It's great. I love it. I love playing with you both.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying, I love playing for trophies. I'll play hard. I don't care if it's wiffle ball, like backyard stuff. Like I'm taking it serious, going 100%. So
Awesome. Ricky Atherton wants to know, Ryan, how do you feel watching Amy hit the ball 3 times further than you do?
she definitely can though. So
Shout out to Ricky. Love you,
I
Ricky.
can't be mad.
Well, Amy had a big triple in that tournament, right? If I'm not did you have triple or double or what am
I mean, it might have been a double if I had started running it out. I thought he was
I
going
don't
to catch
remember
it.
specifically.
What
I
happened
just,
on that? No, I thought it was a triple. Was
yeah.
it not? It was? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe. I'm like, I might have get stopped at
I don't remember it
double.
specifically, but I do remember you played really good in that tournament. though.
Yeah, that I remember it as a triple, so we'll just say it was a triple.
If he's talking about the Pachi tournament, though, I gotta be honest, it was the composite bat that got me a homer, but love that bat.
Okay, didn't know
That was still a good swing, though. You and Ashley both hit.
That's softball wifey. Shout out to Ashley.
A lot of
Shout out to
controversy with
Ashley.
that. We talked about, we had Mike Lush in here last week. We talked about the controversy there. We won't go too much into it. Because I think Patchy gets a lot of criticism, and probably some is warranted, and then some I do think he has some constraints when it comes to the indoor facilities.
I do think he has constraints. I cut him a lot of slack, too, because it's like no one else is doing it. Like, people complain all they want, but
they still go.
You don't have to show up.
Yeah.
You don't have to play it for one, and if you don't like it, do your own. But my whole thing, it's like, I just wish if you're going to put on a tourney, like, just have straight up games. Like, these weird time limits that they have. Like, I don't care if it's not 7 innings, maybe do like 5 innings loser bracket if you
They
have
do in
to.
Canaan. They do 5-inning games.
Yeah, or what it comes down to is like in these tournaments, let's say, like I remember that specific tournament that they were talking about, and it's like either if you can't rent the place an extra hour, maybe take two less teams, and then have every game be a full game played, and then all the teams going home won't be unsatisfied because they got beat fair and square straight up. They can't complain about it.
No, I agree. I think there's a lot of stuff, and that's why I think My Social obviously has a bigger bank account than probably Patchy does to rent out those facilities and make
For
it
sure.
run smoother. So I am going to butcher this name. Kelly Smigelski.
Oh, that's my mom. Yeah.
She said that's awesome. Ryan is a great player, so mom very supportive.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you.
Emily Plant has 2 questions. What's softball ick that you have? I don't know what she meant by that.
What's a softball ick that you have?
Oh, a softball ick. Mm-hmm. Oh, so something you don't like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that's obvious for me. Negativity. Negativity
sure.
spreads like poison, I feel like, on a team. And once somebody starts chirping, it typically goes further than that. So I feel like negativity for me, cockiness, arrogance, we all come from a similar place. So I feel like it's just no space for that on the field. But those are my icks.
I like it.
Yeah, same thing. Like, and people who like put down their teammates, stuff like that, or like treat players who like may not be as good as them like as lesser people. Like, I can't stand any of that. Which I feel like a lot of like the best players aren't that way. Like, some of the best players I've played with aren't like that. And I feel like the only people acting like that is more like the people who think they're better than they are.
Well, they're probably like that in every aspects of life.
Yeah, exactly.
To be honest, like I've always liked the saying, "Sports don't build character; they reveal it."
Yeah,
That's a good one.
So
That's true.
she has another question. I love this question. What would be your walk-up song?
This was a tough one. I thought about this a lot. I feel like it really depends on the game for me. In most settings, I feel like a good one would be like 3 Little Birds by Bob Marley for me. Just very chill.
Okay.
For me, probably if I had to pick, I'd probably go with like Enter Sandman.
Oh, okay.
good one,
Well, you guys
too.
both picked. So Shane Victorino used to come out to that. Mariano Rivera came out to that.
Yeah, Enter Sandman is just a classic. Like the beginning, like drum beat, that would just get me hyped up.
I mean, I'm gonna pick Janet Jackson if
Surprise.
because when that song came on, we were in that the Sunday morning thing. That was our like that's where we started
Laser
coming
show.
back.
Yeah.
So anything Janet, I'm coming up to. Tyler McClure asks, Ryan, how do you feel about protests? Justin DeCostanza did not.
I saw
I think he's
he
heard enough.
protested
I think
that
he's had enough of it. What do you think of that?
Understandable. No, I mean, I get
I
it.
say that
I
Tyler
get
McClure
why.
asked that.
I get why people like are giving Friendly Fire a hard time about it, but I honestly just don't care. Like, it has nothing to do with me. It was my first year playing U-Trip. I just showed up and played. Like, that's all I cared about. I just wanted to do the best I could and try to win games. Like, that's all I was there for. So anything people want to say, like, I don't really care, honestly. Yeah. Nothing, and I'm not saying, like, Tyler is a friend of mine. He's just
Busting chops.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not taking it personally, but it is what it is. Like, it was out of my control. Like, there's nothing I could do about it.
It is what it is. I mean, it's kind of over at this point.
And one thing people don't want to consider either, and it's like not to excuse it or like not that it makes it look any better, but it's like if you're a team that gets knocked out by a team that has an illegal roster, like that's not a good feeling either. Like, I wouldn't want to be a team going home and then you find out 3 days later that the team knocked you out had a guy that was like a D or C player that shouldn't have been on the team that contributed 7-8 runs for them. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, like, U-Trip has to get better with that because the fact that it's happening, you know, tournaments are a big investment that people spend their whole summers doing, and the payoff at the end of it is going to Florida and playing. So, I mean, they got to fix that. It was exposed.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you protest, you're probably going to get people chuckling and giving you a hard time, but I do think that.
And that I totally understood. That's why I wasn't mad that people were giving us a hard time for it. Like, I understood. It's just I didn't take it personally. I never feel like much of it was like directed towards me anyway.
I don't think anybody. I think people are just going to give them, you know, especially Ramel, a hard time about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, that is what it is. But Nick Hammond said, "That's what's up, bro. Ryan, bro's a beast."
I appreciate that, Nick. Thank
Nick,
you. He's a great teammate, great kid. Nick's awesome.
I'm just going to say, keep Bill Belichick's name out of your mouth.
I saw that.
You know, we're not going to have Cowboys fans chiming in right now. Who knows?
I
Belichick
can't
could
believe
be the
he's a
coach there.
Cowboys fan. Nick, well.
You're better than that, Nick.
I know, exactly.
And then Brendan Matthews says, I was a witness to Jesse Martineau, friend of the show, former guest, breaking Amy down. So Jesse actually helped me get a guest.
Love that. Jesse's a great guy. Used to work together a long time ago, but yeah, he's great. He hyped you up, said a lot of great things. Been on the show 4 times. Brenda's another gem who I met that day, but she was great too. Both talking amazingly about you. So
We're going to have to get Brenda on the show.
I think we should.
I'm going to talk to her about that.
Yeah.
I do want to get in top 5s. I'm really curious about what you both have for these.
Oh boy.
Who are your top 5 musical artists?
You guys wouldn't even know who. I listen to like some very heavy music, like super heavy bands. Like my top 5's probably something like Lorna Shore, August Burns Red.
These are all heavy metal?
Yeah, very heavy. It's just my thing. Like I listen to stuff that people would never listen to, like a very small percentage. I've showed you what I listen to, but yeah, I don't know. I just love it for some reason. I love the shows, the energy. But yeah, probably those 2. I don't know. There's a couple other bands that no one would know who they are anyway.
Let me ask you this. Now, I know this is probably more my generation. I think I got 10 years on you. Do you like Korn?
They're not bad. They're like kind of that like new metal, like Slipknot kind of.
Are they in the same category to what you listen to then, or?
Kind of like, but the stuff I listen to is just way heavier than that.
So they would. Did you see the Woodstock '99 documentary?
Yeah, and
Would these be the bands just burning Woodstock to the ground like Limp Bizkit and Korn?
yeah, pretty much, probably honestly. But the bands I like some of them, like Lorna Shore, is starting to get mainstream just because their vocalist is like, he's just a very good like front runner for the band, and he's gotten a lot of traction. But yeah, like the genre I listen to is called like deathcore, and yeah, they're like the biggest band in the genre, and he's like the one that's starting to get them like mainstream. Like they have like 1 million Spotify listeners monthly, which is pretty good for like that for such a small listen to genre. So.
Well, it's wild how we consume music now.
Yeah,
it's definitely changed quite a bit.
Yeah, Spotify is amazing. I love Spotify.
Oh, I got a solid Spotify mix right now.
Yeah, it made music like it saved it for me.
Yeah, you can organize it, and I finally was like, I'm so sick of just hearing songs I don't want to hear. So I finally made a list of songs that I won't skip.
Yeah.
You know, Janet's in there, 112.
Zendaya.
Stevie Wonder. Yeah, you know, it's just a great mix. But how about you, Amy?
My music taste is all over the place. I feel like I have to say, for my dad's sake, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, grew up on that. Led Zeppelin. Grew up on like the classics, but it's evolved in many different ways. I listen to a lot of like underground bands too. One of my favorites is Good Old War. They're a great band. They stopped playing together though. Big Sublime fan.
Okay.
Recently, yeah.
My favorite band ever.
What?
Sublime.
Really? I didn't know that.
When I was asked on the show, there was a fan question saying, "Who, if you could interview one person, living or dead, I'd interview Bradley Noel."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, they're great. What else? I recently got into Zach Bryan.
Okay.
Chiller vibe, sad vibe, but good. Blank, you know. But yeah, I don't know. My music taste is all over. And then there's like obviously like more like pop type stuff, like Jack Harlow. He's newer, good lyricist. Controversial, but Kanye pre-meltdown.
His first 2 albums are still 2 of my favorites of all time.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is great.
You know. How do you guys feel about, now this comes up a lot, she's crossed over into the NFL. She's the biggest pop star in the universe now. Taylor Swift in your playlist at all?
16-year-old Amy was a big fan. Went to the concert in the rain at Gillette. It was a defining moment for 16-year-old Amy. But as I've grown up, not really much my jam, but I'm kind of getting back into it, I guess. Maybe it was just some friends that I spend time with. But yeah, very interesting, the NFL mix, Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. I don't know. I think it's fun.
She's a hit maker, though, and I have to admit that. Like, I went to the Janet Jackson concert that night when she was playing at Gillette.
Yeah.
And the whole ride down, every radio station was just playing Taylor Swift. And I was like, I'm not changing it. These are good songs, you know?
I'm not listening to her music, but I respect what she does. Like,
There's some death covers of Taylor Swift.
yeah, true. That's true.
She's now what Michael Jackson was in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, she's massive. It's crazy. She's like, her streams on Spotify daily. She's every day like the #1 streamed artist. Yeah. By a lot, too.
Yeah. We support T Swift on this show. You know.
You know, I support what she does. I'm not against her. I don't listen to her music. I'll be honest, I don't really pay much attention to her at all. But
I have to say the song that it's Hey, It's Me, I'm the Promise Me. Like, I heard that song, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, no, she has some good songs for sure. I feel the same way about some of her songs too.
Yeah. What about movies? Top 5 movies.
This was a tough one too. Really had to think about it. In no particular order. The Toy Story 2 is on there.
Okay.
Toy Story 2 specifically. I thought about this a lot. Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh.
That's a good one. Stand By Me, classic for me. Train, Dodge, Dig It. What else? Recent one, Everything, Anywhere, All at Once. That was a good one. I'm a big movie buff. Grew up with like Oscar award movies, and my dad was really into that. So, yeah, big movie person. I feel like I forgot one, but I'll think of it.
I love Silence of the Lambs.
Classic.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Classic.
I like the movie Seven a lot.
Yeah, I almost put that on my list.
What's in the box?
Yes.
Yeah, the ending is wild for that.
Wild.
A lot of movies like that. I like Training Day a lot too, and I'm a huge fan of Denzel. Like most of his movies are really good.
Microphone issue? Oh, yep, you're good.
Ooh, the hair.
I think so.
Okay.
We're breaking the third wall there, but yeah.
Yeah, anything Denzel's in, I'm a big fan of. The Disney, like Pixar, like Finding Nemo, of course.
Ooh.
I love
That's
Disney.
classic, yeah.
Coco.
What else would I put on there? Top 5. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. I'd put The Town probably up there too.
Okay.
That's another good one.
Good Boston movie.
Yeah, movies like that. I'd like The Departed and all that.
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Good Will Hunting. Robin Williams just showed everything that he could do in that movie.
Yeah.
You know. I want to get into this softball word association. So I'm going to give you something softball related. You're going to tell me the first word that comes to mind and tell me why. We all play this, and it's really popular in the area, but My Social Sports.
Fun. That is such a boring answer. I don't know, Ryan, go.
One word answer.
One word. Tell me why.
My Social Sports. I'll say underrated.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Tell us why.
Oh, I give an explanation.
Yeah.
Why? Just like the accessibility. You can play every single night if you want to. It's fun. Like, you don't always have to take it that serious. And there's good players in there. Like, people can, like I said, give My Social a hard time, but go play some of the games. Like, you'll see some of the best players from the area in those My Social games. So.
All right, good answer.
Yeah.
Sticking with fun?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I agree with his answer, so we'll tag team that one.
Okay. USSSA U-Trip.
Huge one word. That's tough. I mean, obviously competitive.
I'm going to say envious. I want to be at that level. I think 2024 might be my year where Amy makes her debut.
I would say just go do it. I mean, I remember when I first started playing U-Trip and I hit this home run at Udicky like into the trees, and I was like, "Whoa, this is different."
Yeah,
I was like, I didn't.
The bats are definitely different for sure. The bats help a lot.
The balls are pretty juiced too.
You can use composite bats, right?
Yeah.
For females, yeah.
All you can really use is composite bats.
Ooh.
You know.
I do think with U-Trip, a lot of people feel like they can't make it in for some reason that definitely could. I don't think you'd want to just jump right in if you've only played like My Social. But I feel like if you get some experience, some like good hardball leagues, get some reps in, like playing E's isn't like unreasonable for most people who play.
When I first started playing, I realized I wasn't the shortstop that I thought I was. That was like the first thing I realized because the ball was coming so much faster. And I have played there in U-Trip games, but when I thought I was miles ahead.
The ball comes different. Like that's the one thing people don't realize. No outs are easy outs in U-Trip. Like because I play outfield, like it's rare I'm just getting like a fly ball I can stand under, and like it's routine. Like most you're running down, just barely getting to it, or it's like the in-betweeners where it's really tough to read, and it's in the, like you said, the spin on the ball, how hard it's hit. It is different in U-Trip for sure.
Yeah, no, and I had to evolve, and now it's like just used to it, but at first there was a change. Because I think at that point I only played ASA when I first started playing U-Trip. So.
Yeah, I played Church League for like a month, and that's the only thing I had played other than My Social, and then played at E-States with Friendly Fire.
Yep. Not a
and
good
that
game.
I think I was like almost like too ignorant to know what I was going into that it helped me, so I wasn't that nervous, but like a couple games in, I was super nervous playing the U-Trip tourneys. Like I was making like uncharacteristic mistakes, dropping fly balls, because usually my defense is like the best part of my game, but yeah, it's tough. It's super nerve-wracking when you first start.
Well, it's different if you're not used to it. It's like anything else. The more you do it, you evolve, Worlds.
I would just say fun, honestly. It's a good time. I feel like if you're going to go, you shouldn't go strictly just for softball, because that can be like a really disappointing experience. But if you just go to like have fun with your friends and play softball, and obviously take it serious, like that's the main reason you're going down. But because it can just be discouraging if you go like 0-2 at Worlds, spend all this money, go through all this stuff.
Used to be a 3-game guarantee.
I think it should be at least 3, to be honest, but I understand with that many teams why it's tough. But
I'm going to say Florida. That's the first thing that comes to mind. It's like Disney for softball players.
It is, yeah. I mean, when I went, it was still in Orlando, and we were right down the street from Disney.
Yeah, wasn't that like ESPN?
Yeah, and and that's the thing I think they've lost is, and I know they moved for reasons, and Kevin Hill explained it on the show. I don't recall what it was, but you used to be able to take a picture with the ESPN Worlds thing in the background. That was like the big thing.
Well, I think it was part of like the behavioral issues with.
It could have been. They play. I mean, the year we went TITS. I'm not going to say how you say their name on the show, but they had won the majors mixed.
Yeah.
And we got to watch that in the state where the Braves at the time had spring training. So that was pretty cool. Ronnie Ferreira.
I'm going to say Flintstone. He does run like Fred Flintstone. Whoever said that, I can't get it out of my brain.
Yeah, he should have a Fred Flintstone account instead of George Jetson.
I'll just say a friend. Ronnie's a great friend of mine. Good player. Great bat.
El Capitan.
Yeah, winning coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played more softball with Ronnie than I have literally anybody else, to be honest. So.
Mel Amato.
I love Mel. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I need to think of a word, but.
Good friend, again. I don't know. I've only played with her on a team once, and it was a great experience. She's super nice.
Anthony Amato.
Brother. Amadi! So I guess the running joke is their jerseys. He got the Amadi jersey with an I instead of an O. So Mel always calls him Amadi. So that's the first thing I think of when I see him.
I don't really know him, to be honest, other than in passing. But he's on our team for Sundays. So
yeah. No, Anthony's a lot of fun.
Get to know him.
Wes Deb.
thinking, I think of dirt.
Dirt.
I
Okay.
don't know. Yeah, like West Ebb on a good day is not bad, but sometimes it can be tough to play on, especially if you're in the outfield, some of those holes. But at second, if the dirt's not like smooth, the balls just take weird hops. So I don't know.
I can't believe they play high school games there.
Did they?
That's
They
what
play
I-
high
That's
school.
what I've heard is that the I don't know which Manchester school, but someone said that. I was like, I can't believe you do
I've
anything but
seen
squish ball there.
like girls fast pitch games there. I've never, but not like high school level.
Maybe it's middle school. Maybe I have it wrong, but
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, well, even college softball's like 250 fences. I think.
What do you think
It's-
West Dev is?
I think like 190.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first time I went down there, I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, that's why you play squish ball here. You can't
Yeah,
do
you
anything
couldn't.
else.
Yeah,
Martell, right here in Merrimack.
I love Martell. That's my favorite field in the area, honestly. The first time I played there was for the Stars and Strikes, my social tourney. But I don't know. It's just convenient, like the parking, like the setup, the hangout area. I don't know. I just like Martell.
I love a field with good parking.
Yeah, parking.
Yeah.
Having good parking is important. Like good spots, to, like sit and watch the games, like with your buddies or your teams, between games and stuff. So, yeah, I love Martell.
I've never played there.
I
Fun
haven't played there
fact.
yet.
Yeah, a new field that I need to unlock.
Yeah, that's like, and that's a field like they don't want you doing much on it.
Yeah,
Martell, Merrimack kind of guards it a little bit.
yeah. I don't blame them. Like compared to Wolf, I'll take Martell any day, hands down.
A tournament that people have been asking about if it's going to happen, and if you watch Let Freedom Ring, you'll know that Steve said they were still trying to figure out the scheduling and where they're going to have it. But Heartbreakers,
Excited. Hungry, we'll say. That's my word. I'm excited. I'm ready for a new tournament.
did he announce the date?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But shout out to whoever put in the comments. I'd be heartbroken if it didn't happen.
Heartbreakers, I'm in for sure. I played last year. It was a good time. Indoor is only so fun for me. But
Well, it's supposed to be outdoor, and that's like I never got.
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that. I feel like my perception is weird because it was like my first year
Yeah.
and it was indoor. But I forgot like we were supposed to play outdoor till like 2 days before, and then got a snowstorm or something. They had to move it.
Yeah, the facility they use doesn't. If the field's like snowy, too snowy, they don't want that happening. I mean, the one year I was supposed to play outside because I've yet to do a winter tournament outside in the 19 years I've been playing softball.
Wow.
And the year I was going to do it, I was all signed up. That's when I found out I had to get an MRI on my shoulder, and my rotator cuff was completely torn. Like they're like, you need surgery like next month.
Yeah, you were
So-
telling me that. That's
So, still waiting to make my debut for a winter outdoor tournament.
yeah, that's as close as I've come.
Yeah, and it didn't
Although
feel like it.
Tata's tourney this year was, it can't get much colder than that. That I was freezing that day.
Yeah.
For Tata's, you remember because we played you guys late. in
I
the
was
day.
on autopilot at one point.
Yeah.
Just like, when does this end? And it ended
Yeah.
with the lights going out. As I
Yeah,
told
that was a
Brandon.
Sunday too. I didn't get off the field till like 10 p.m. That was the coldest I've ever been playing softball.
There's been Tata's years where we played in the rain. Like, no one was calling it. I did a head first slide into like a lake at second base at Martell. And yeah, it's been some wild Tata's tournaments.
Yeah, it was fun.
I got to tell Brandon next year, I think a 3-game guarantee for that is too much. If you want to do 3-game guarantee, maybe in the,
Or
if
do
it's in
2
September.
day or 2-day tourney.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you could do that. Squish ball.
Squish ball. Again, I'll say underrated. I just feel like it's just a different game. Like you just play it totally different. It's like playing. I don't know. It just take the power out of the game completely. And this 10 fielders on a small field, like it's all like small ball fundamentals. That's why I feel like a lot of people who don't like it are people who don't like rely on their athleticism a lot. Stuff like people who just go up and crush the ball typically with composite bats aren't going to have fun in squish ball.
Yeah. And there are people that exist like that.
Yeah, no, it is what it is.
We started making home run limits in Nashua. There was a lot of home run hitters were upset about it. It's like there were teams that were like, well, when nine home runs in a row, it's like, come on, like, what are we doing here? Like, you know.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not even fun, to be honest.
It wasn't. There were games that just weren't fun.
Yeah.
And, so they finally made the change.
Squish ball, oh boy. I mean, as somebody who plays second, I love squish ball. It doesn't hurt as much if you take it to your body, but you can easily knock it down. But yeah, I can get where it's a little underrated, I think. I think it's fun. I think it's fun that, you know, girls can hit a hard ball. But I've never hit a squish ball. I want to one time at bat. I just want to try it just for fun.
Yeah, that's you know, it's a different game. It is.
Yeah, it is. If you just go out, like, just going to have fun with your friends, like, I don't see how you could dislike it, honestly.
Yeah. I enjoy the league on Wednesday nights at Trinity. I have a good time.
Yeah.
Every year I do that. So, last one, Ricky Atherton.
Love Ricky, bat enthusiast. That's my word for him. But he's great. He's a great guy, very humble. Love his bat assortment. He's very passionate about the sport and just an overall great guy. I've only played with him like twice on our tourney teams, but he's a gem.
Coach.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, Ricky's amazing guy. That's why I want to play on his team, honestly. Anytime I played with him or on his teams, all good people. The vibes are always good. Good players.
No, Ricky's awesome, and I'm glad that I met him, and it's fun playing with him, and he's a gem.
Yeah.
He's one of the people that reminds you to stay humble, which I really appreciate because I feel like it can just get inflated in softball, your ego and whatnot. So I appreciate him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a genuine guy. Not many authentic people anymore nowadays, but he's definitely one of them.
Yeah, no, Ricky's a great guy, but I really appreciate you guys coming on.
Thank you.
We'll have to do this again
Thank
sometime.
you for having me, Dan. Seriously.
Again, Bill Belichick, thank you for everything. Everybody have a great week out there. Keep your heads up. Until next time, let freedom ring.